ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another COASTER-net update. Now, as you might be able to tell, I am not in my normal roller coaster attire. No, I am rocking my Hershey Bears jersey, one of my several Hershey Bears jerseys, because Andy, Hersheypark and the Hershey Bears have won a bet with Dorney Park, specifically Dorney Park and their GM Mike Fainall. The Hershey Bears just defeated the Lehigh Valley Phantoms in a 5-game playoff series in the first round of the American Hockey League Calder Cup playoffs. Now, there was a nice little bet, the Hershey Bears and Lehigh Valley Phantoms, as far as the rivalry goes, a very fierce rivalry. The teams are separated just about an hour apart. Obviously, if you've been to Hersheypark, you've seen the Giant Center, which shares a parking lot with Hersheypark. And if you go to Dorney Park, and you can actually see downtown Allentown from Dorney Park, and the Lehigh Valley Phantoms play right in downtown Allentown. So they're separated by just about an hour or so out I-78. The teams played each other 12 times during the regular season this year and matched up with each other in the first round of the playoffs, played a 5-game series. The Hershey Bears won the first 2 games in Allentown. Then the Phantoms won the next 2 games in Hershey. And then the decisive Game 5 was this past Sunday in Allentown, and Hershey, only the second time, I think, in league history a road team had won every game in a playoff series. So at the beginning of the series, on Twitter, Dorney Park and Mike Fainall, a guy who I have met while he was down at Carowinds, a great guy, and he also worked at Dorney. He was at Dorney Park previously while I was there. They challenged Hersheypark to a little bit of a bet, and the bet was the winner of the series, whichever team lost, that theme park had to fly the opposite team's flag at their front gate, and the GM of the losing park had to wear a jersey from the opposite team. So with the Hershey Bears winning the series this coming weekend, Dorney Park will be flying a Hershey Bears flag at their front gate, and GM Mike Fainall will be wearing a Hershey Bears jersey while out in the park. Now, I may just have to go to Dorney Park this weekend wearing my Hershey Bears jersey here. Now this is interesting because the history between the Bears and the Phantoms goes way back to the early 90s when the Phantoms were still in Philadelphia. But this was nice. This was neat because both towns literally have their own theme park right down the street from the hockey arenas. So it was neat that Dorney kind of went out and challenged Hersheypark to this, because a lot of the teams in the league don't have theme parks real close by, specifically the teams that Hershey plays, because you have smaller towns. There's not really one in Scranton. There's not really one like in Providence or some of the other teams. They'll play not big parks. So it was really neat to see this. This is the first time we've seen maybe like a minor league sports bet that has kind of taken this little extra added spice to the mix. But Andy, we've seen some big leagues like in Major League Baseball and in the NFL. We've seen some of these too, but this was the first time we've seen it in like minor leagues that I can recall.
Coincidentally, Dorney Park will not be the only Cedar Fair park renaming some thing and flying different colors this weekend.
Right now.
Yeah. So if you're by a Cedar Fair park, as you may know, Cedar Point this weekend will also be changing their name of their Top Thrill Dragster to Top Thrill Cubster because of the bet made in October between the Cleveland Indians and the Chicago Cubs, and we all know, unfortunately, the Cubs won. And I've had to hear it for plenty of months, and now at Cedar Point we get more nonsense at Cedar Point with Top Thrill Cubster. But in fairness, though, we've seen this happen a lot.
Involved in one of these before too.
Twice, actually, that I know of. Once with the Cardinals, and the Cubs, won that series with the Cardinals, and they had to rename American Thunder into Cubs Thunder. But once where the Cubs lost to the Mets a few years back, and they had to rename Goliath to, Go Mets. In general, I think it's all in good fun. It's fun to have these bets. It brings some attention, some media attention to these parks. I know Top Thrill Cubster has been the talk of Facebook, with a lot of Cleveland people vowing to spit on it and do all these things to it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd wear your Hershey Bears jersey to Dorney just yet.
Well, trust me, I know there are a lot of Hershey folks who are planning on wanted to know the day that flag was flying, because we want to make a group trip out there. That's what's interesting, is because so many Hershey Bears fans are big Hersheypark fans, and vice versa. You have so many Lehigh Valley Phantoms fans that spend a lot of time at Dorney Park. So this is really kind of like a hometown, homegrown rivalry that's been going on for several years, and especially this year. I mean, when you play a team 12 times during the regular season, and then you got to play them 5 more times in the playoffs, I mean, it's that kind of stuff is bound to happen. Now, what I want to see is if Hershey does beat the Providence Bruins in the next round, they would potentially play either the Syracuse Crunch or the Toronto Marlies, and they actually played the Marlies last year in the conference finals. So I'd like to see, if it does end up getting that far to be Bears and Marlies again in the conference finals, I'd like to see Hersheypark go after Canada's Wonderland and see if we could have another bout of this. But I don't know. Maybe that's getting it's a long-time rivalry. We had to spice it up somehow. You get tired of just playing hockey 17 times, so you had to put a little extra added side bet on there. But happy that the Bears won, and might just have to make a trip down to Dorney Park to see that Hershey Bears flag, the chocolate and white, flying high above Dorney Park.
Well, as always, thank you for joining us here on COASTER-net Update. And right on, right, Warriors.
Go Bears.